Now, on a special edition of KGW News, the local reaction continues to grow after Border Patrol agents shoot 2 people.
We are tired of neighbors living in fear. That does not keep us safe.
Try to make the case that ICE needs to leave our communities.
How local groups are bringing the community together as the Trump administration backs its immigration agenda. Also tonight, how a judge's ruling pushes back on an executive order targeting vote by mail. Thanks so much for joining us on this special edition of KGW News. I'm John Adams. In the wake of the shootings by federal agents both here in Portland and in Minneapolis this week, Portlanders out protesting today say they're outraged. Our Jake Holter is live for us now at the ICE building with the latest. Jake, what are you hearing from people out there today?
Well, John, right here at the ICE building, it's actually pretty calm right now, but earlier at Waterfront Park, hundreds of people were out protesting the Trump administration after 2 shootings involving federal agents this week.
Every day there's something new that is so heavy.
In a week's time, the U.S. captured the Venezuelan president, a woman was shot and killed by a federal agent in Minneapolis, and 2 people identified by DHS as Venezuelan immigrants were shot by federal agents here in Portland.
It really hits home, and you realize how you're not safe.
Rebecca Flaming Martin says she lives 2 miles from where the shooting in Portland took place and says she was out protesting Saturday because she doesn't like the recent moves by the U.S.
I'm very concerned that we are turning into the very kinds of countries we stood up against in prior wars, world wars.
Washington County Commissioner Nafisa Fye also in attendance at the waterfront protest.
Before, it was just being kidnapped and taken away. Now people are the fear of being killed is added to that equation.
Fye says she is concerned if she has a run-in with federal agents, how quickly she fears things could escalate.
If I don't turn around and wait for them or follow their unconstitutional command, does that mean they're going to shoot me? That's the interpretation, and that is a dangerous interpretation to facilitate by men who say that they're with the federal law.
Also Saturday, Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Dexter held a town hall in East Portland to hear constituents' concerns.
And my question, I don't know if you have an answer for this, is like, what can we do? Get a whistle, use your phone, sign up for Meagher Watch or with Perk, volunteer, take care of your people.
At one point, Dexter addressed that she would be filing articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
I had said that I was going to file articles for impeachment of Kristi Noem.
A DHS spokesperson said that the shootings in both Minneapolis and Portland were in self-defense. And tomorrow we'll be heading down to Salem to hear from Republicans after what's transpired this week. John?
All right, our Jake Holter live for us tonight. Jake, thanks so much for that reporting. Well, among the events staged today was a vigil at Terry Shrunk Plaza in downtown Portland. Organizers told us they wanted to offer the community a place to grieve following the shooting here locally, as well as the deadly shooting by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. They also wanted to send the message that people are coming together to call for change.
All of us are experiencing something right now that is bringing forth a lot of pain. Different lines of impact depending on your identities. Our black and brown siblings are being targeted. Folks are being racially profiled. That's not justice. That's not public safety.
Along with the vigil, one of the groups, Latino Network, was offering support to the children and families of the couple that were shot Thursday. This was the scene last night outside the ICE facility along the South Waterfront in Portland. About a few hundred people protesting following Thursday's shooting. Portland police say they arrested one person last night, 39-year-old Andrew Simmons, after he pushed an officer. That makes 80 arrests total since protests have been happening outside the facility in the past year. Attorneys with Innovation Law Lab are asking a federal court to stop ICE agents from making arrests without warrants here in Oregon. Among the plaintiffs is Hillsborough grandfather Victor Cruz, who ICE arrested despite having a work authorization and a pending visa. His family says he was arrested in mid-October in a case of mistaken identity, as federal agents were looking for another man by the same name who had a criminal history. Despite that, Innovation's Law Lab claims ICE pressured Cruz to self-deport while he was detained. Protests and vigils being held across the country today after an ICE agent fatally shot a woman in Minnesota this week. The Minneapolis police chief estimates more than 1,000 people demonstrated overnight Friday. At least 30 were detained and later released. New video is giving us a different view of the shooting. A warning, you'll hear the shooting itself, but you won't see the driver, Renee Good, being hit. This video was recorded by the ICE officer who opened fire. Take a look.
You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
The Department of Homeland Security claims the new footage shows that, quote, the officer was in fear of his own life, the lives of his fellow officers, and acted in self-defense.
Have agitators, and we will always be protecting ICE, and we're always going to be protecting our Border Patrol and our law enforcement.
But many experts have criticized the agent's actions and say the videos do not prove any credible threat. The Department of Justice has blocked Minnesota investigators from participating in a probe into the shooting, a move that's infuriating many Minnesota leaders. Okay, time to talk our weather here locally. It was a cool and cloudy start to the weekend, and it was also dry out there today. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is here to let us know if the forecast will be changing at all over the next few days. Hey, Joe.
Hey there. Not a whole lot. I love these crisp, cool winter mornings. You got a chance to go for a run. You could kind of, see your breath as you ran a little bit around the neighborhood or whatever your plans were. I saw a lot of people kind of taking down the Christmas lights. Yeah, no judgment. You can keep them up as long as you want, but you might want to turn off the lights though. But looking into tomorrow, there's a slight chance for some light sprinkles. For the most part, those light sprinkles will be impacting the Oregon coast, and it's throughout the morning hours. This is a weak system that's going to be above, ahead of us tonight and into early tomorrow. But for the most part, we're going to be mild and dry for Sunday, and that's going to be the case for the next 7 days. We have an air stagnation advisory that will be in effect now through tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. But you can kind of see some of those showers moving in right now, but they're well north of us, impacting folks over in British Columbia and over along the Puget Sound area. Up and down the I-5 corridor, we're going to be dry as a bone over the next few days. It's not going to be looking much like early, almost mid-January the next few days. Our temperatures will be mild as well. Downtown Portland right now seeing a temperature of 46 degrees. You can kind of see where the rain will be well north of us. So like I said, maybe around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow, there could be some light sprinkles, but there's going to be lots of sunshine in the forecast over the next 7 to 8 days. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, that'll be a nice change of pace. Thank you. New tonight, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office is investigating an incident where an unknown white powder was thrown at a medical worker. It happened sometime before 3 this afternoon at Kaiser Permanente Sunnyside Medical Center. The Sheriff's Office says a woman visiting the hospital threw the powder at a Metro West medic who then suffered a medical emergency. The suspect left before first responders got there. The medic is still hospitalized, but the Sheriff's Office says the substance doesn't pose a threat to the rest of the hospital. Also new tonight, investigators are looking into what caused a fire at an apartment complex earlier this morning. It happened around 3:30 near Southwest Murray Boulevard and Farmington Road in Beaverton. They found fire coming from a second floor unit. Everyone was able to get out safely, but 2 cats were found dead and 2 people have been displaced. On Friday, a judge blocked most of a Trump administration order that would have tightened voter requirements nationwide, a move critics say could have disrupted vote-by-mail systems in both Oregon and Washington. Corey Johnson breaks down that ruling.
The federal judge in this case ruled the president overstepped his authority. The order would have required proof of U.S. citizenship to vote and that all mail ballots arrive by Election Day, changes that could have significantly impacted vote by mail in both Oregon and Washington. Now, the judge's ruling comes after both states sued, arguing the order could disenfranchise tens of thousands of voters. The court says the Constitution gives Congress and the states, not the president, the authority to regulate federal elections. But late last year, the president pushed to end vote by mail, citing concerns about cost and election integrity. Around that same time, Oregon officials pushed back.
We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. You know that we're the only country in the world, I believe, I may be wrong, but just about the only country in the world that uses them.
He's wrong. Voting by mail in Oregon, which is, by the way, done with paper ballots, is less expensive than votes that require someone to show up at a specific place at a specific time.
Now, the judge also noted that voting by non-citizens is rare and already illegal, and said states could not be threatened with the loss of federal funding for refusing to comply with the order. For right now, that ruling keeps Oregon and Washington's vote-by-mail systems unchanged. Back to you.
All right, Corey, thanks so much for that report. We have a health alert today as the Oregon Health Authority investigates 2 cases of measles in Linn County. Other people may have been exposed as well. These are the state's first measles cases of the year. OHA says the 2 people started developing symptoms on the 5th of January. They spent some time in the emergency departments at Lebanon Community Hospital and Albany General Hospital. If you were there between the times listed, you may have been exposed, and you should let your healthcare provider know as soon as you can. In Northwest Portland, a brand new Multnomah County Library opened today on Northwest Petty Grove Street. Dozens of families attended the grand opening. The new library is more than twice the size of the library it replaced, which was on Thurman Street a few blocks away from there. Inside is a large selection of books for kids and plenty of computers for those looking to access the internet. We spoke to a dad named Jake Wicks who visited the library with his daughter. Here were his first impressions.
Oh, it's awesome. Just the structure and the fact that they used a lot of reclaimed materials and like the stuff they put together for kids. I mean, it's just, you can tell they put a lot of work into it and a lot of heart.
The library was funded from a bond measure that passed back in 2020. The county budget for the project, $21 million. Coming up, the health warning from doctors nationwide as this year's flu season breaks records. Plus, it's the end of the road for the Oregon Ducks. Orlando Sanchez brings us a fresh look at their struggles against the Hoosiers and how Oregon season came to a close. Your headlines starting with a series of deadly shootings in Mississippi. The Clay County Sheriff's Office says a 24-year-old man shot and killed 6 people at 3 separate locations late Friday. At least 4 are reportedly family members. One of the victims, 7 years old. Authorities identified the suspect as Derica M. Moore. He faces a first-degree murder charge that could be upgraded to capital murder. The U.S. military launched a new wave of attacks against ISIS in Syria. Authorities say the U.S. strikes are in retaliation for the deaths of 2 American soldiers from Iowa and a civilian interpreter last month. An official says today's strike hit more than 35 targets. Hundreds of American troops are stationed in Syria as part of the United States' long-standing mission to combat ISIS in the country. A federal judge on Friday temporarily blocked the Trump administration from freezing $10 billion in social services funding for 5 Democratic-led states. The Department of Health and Human Services says it was pausing the funding in California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York because it had, quote, reason to believe the states were granting benefits to people in the country illegally. The judge did not rule on the legality of the funding freeze. He did say the 5 states had met a legal threshold, quote, to protect the status quo for at least 14 days while arguments are made in court. In national health news, it's being called the super flu, and now new numbers from the CDC show a worsening flu season. Hospitalizations and deaths both on the rise. Here's NBC's Liz Kreutz.
Tonight, the parents of 12-year-old Connor Dickens praying he pulls through.
My son is fighting for his life right now.
All amid a record-breaking flu season that has now turned more deadly. Mortality rates, according to the CDC, more than doubling in the last week, with at least 17 children dying so far this season. Connor, who has Down syndrome and is immunocompromised, has been in a North Carolina hospital for 2 weeks after contracting the flu. His parents calling 911 after finding their usually joyful son limp and lifeless.
What is the hardest part for you?
Seeing our son laying in the bed in the hospital with a ventilator.
It's extremely scary.
Hospitalizations from the flu also on the rise, up 20%. Those numbers coming the same week the federal government announced it's no longer recommending every child get a flu shot.
Would you recommend that your patients get the vaccine?
Absolutely.
Outside Denver at the Children's Hospital, Colorado, Dr. Suchitra Rao says more than 80% of their patients didn't get this year's vaccine, and that this year's strain is part of why they're so inundated.
This one's undergone a little bit more of drift or genetic mutations compared to other seasons. It can spread really quickly and it can cause sort of more numbers and potentially more severity.
In addition to the typical fever, chills, and aches, symptoms of this year's strain can also include stomach issues like nausea and vomiting. A flu season growing in severity and showing no signs of slowing down.
All right, time to talk weather. And Joe, you teased it earlier. We could be in store for a streak of some dry weather here.
You're a golfer, and I'm sure all the golfers out there who are like, I have to wait till spring to head out to the links. No, that's not the case. I mean, we're not going to be seeing a drop of rain over the next few days. I mean, there could be a little bit of some sprinkles here and there, but it's not going to be enough to really impact us at all. Downtown Portland right now, John, 46 degrees. Winds are very light. We have a really nice forecast ahead. Temperatures will be relatively mild into your overnights as well as your daytime highs. This yellow color you see is an air stagnation advisory that's in place up and down the I-5 corridor until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Basically, the air in the upper levels of the atmosphere really haven't had a chance to move around a lot. You kind of need some rain to wash out that air. Well, that rain's not going to be coming anytime soon. This is pretty much all the rain we're going to be seeing over the next 7 to 8 days or so. We have a couple systems out there, but really is going to be impacting us the most is a ridge of high pressure, and that ridge of high pressure is going to give us a lot of sunshine and above average temperatures. No, it's not going to be feeling like spring in January, but it will be definitely on the mild side. So this model is showing a little after 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, we could see some light showers, just some pockets here and there, mainly throughout the northern tier of the state. You travel out of the city, you're not going to be seeing a drop of rain. Most of the measurable amount of rain will be impacting folks over in southwest Washington and a little bit along the northern Oregon coast. You travel south along Highway 101, maybe into Tillamook and Newport, you're not going to be seeing a drop of rain. You're going to see a lot of sunshine here the next few days. We'll kind of have a little system move above heading into tomorrow night into Monday as well. But again, we're not going to be impacting. See, all the sunshine we're going to be looking at over the next couple of days. It's going to be good for the soul because this is the time of year where it's dark and we haven't seen the sunshine for a while. Well, now we're going to be seeing the sunshine for several days. And yeah, we had a good amount of snow the last couple of days throughout the Oregon Cascades. But as you can see, the next few days, that snow level is going to be above past levels. In fact, it's the freezing level that's going to be more of the story, right around 12,000 feet. And this model is showing we're not going to be seeing any snow. No big surprise since we don't have any systems moving through. It's going to be a bluebird day up there here the next few days. Up at the Oregon Zoo, we're seeing a temperature of 42 degrees, a little bit cool, but I don't think we're going to be dropping our temperatures a whole lot here the next few days because of the clouds we have. So tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy skies to start things off. Temperatures will be, again, mild. Keep in mind, this 46 is our average daytime high for this time of year, but we're going to go above that. I'm forecasting daytime highs right around the low 50s here the next few days. And so far this month of January, we've seen over 2 inches of rain. So we're sitting pretty. We're above a half of an inch of rain. And yeah, the next 5 days, we're going to be bone dry. We're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine, maybe some light sprinkles early tomorrow morning and into early Monday morning. But for the most part, yeah, it's going to be absolutely stunning up there. Again, the rain will be along the northern part of the Oregon coast tomorrow, up and down the I-5 corridor. We're going to be looking at temperatures right around the low 50s. A few spots the next few days will get very close to that mid-50s mark. I have 54 tomorrow. It's going to be just as nice for Monday. And take a look at Tuesday. Morning fog followed by afternoon sunshine. I can't remember a time, John, where I have had a January forecast with 3-4 days with temperatures right around the low to mid 50s. So let's enjoy it, because who knows what the later part of this month is going to be bringing.
Yeah, definitely a treat for the second 2.5 weeks.
Exactly right.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, still to come on the show, we're gearing up for the Winter Olympics, and we're going to profile a figure skating duo with chemistry both on and off the ice. We're going to spotlight some Olympic hopefuls on a meteoric rise. Well, ouch. Wasn't that a disappointing end to the season for the Oregon Ducks last night? From the opening drive, Oregon faced an uphill battle against top-ranked Indiana. Orlando Sanchez recaps last night's action from Atlanta.
Red and white confetti marking the end of the road for the Oregon Ducks. Those championship dreams dashed in blowout fashion in Atlanta in the college football playoff semifinals. A sea of red, more than 75,000 inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The flock outnumbered in Atlanta. The top-ranked Hoosiers' biggest game in program history. The Ducks' first semifinal appearance since 2015. First play from scrimmage, pick six, D'Angelo Pons. 7-0 Hoosiers in the blink of an eye. Ensuing drive and the Ducks settle down. Dante Moore on the money to Jamari Johnson. 19-yard strike capping off a 14-play, 75-yard scoring drive. But the reigning Heisman Trophy winner with the answer, orchestrating a 75-yard drive of his own. Indiana retakes the lead, and it goes from bad to worse for the U of O. 3 first-half turnovers, 3 first-half sacks, and Mendoza made them pay. Nearly perfect, passing for 5 touchdowns. More TDs than incompletions. And for the second time this season, the Ducks fall to the Hoosiers, this time in the Peach Bowl. Final count, 56-22.
In this moment, you feel like a failure, right, for them, and they're not. they're not failures. These guys won a lot of damn ball games. They had a lot of success. They've changed some people's lives. But right now, in that moment, it's going to hurt.
This game doesn't feel good to any of us, but, you know, we can continue to grow from this.
You know, not let this one loss define who we are as, you know, people on the field and off the field, you know what I mean? So, you know, we still have a lot of things to accomplish down the road.
Doesn't take away from our season. We had one heck of a season. Didn't finish how we wanted to, but my journey here has been unbelievable.
To our fan base and everybody who traveled with us, who were there at home games, I appreciate you guys every single day.
This team will look different next season. Head coach Dan Lanning will have 2 new coordinators, and there's lots of questions surrounding this roster, including the return of quarterback Dante Moore, who has yet to make that decision on whether he's coming back to the Ducks or going to the NFL. One thing we know for certain, we'll see you right back in Eugene in September. Reporting from Atlanta, Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
Well, despite that loss, still plenty to cheer for sports fans locally because the Blazers are flying high after a come-from-behind win over Houston at the Moda Center last night. Trailing by double digits going into the fourth quarter, the Blazers went on an 11-0 run from there. Toumani Camara fueling that comeback with a career-high 25 points and lots of really good defense. Portland won 111-105. That's their 5th win in a row. They're back in action tomorrow at home against the New York Knicks. And we've got a lot more basketball coming your way. Season 8 of Friday Night Hoops tips off next weekend. It's your one-stop shop for boys and girls high school basketball, along with the Blazers and college hoops. Orlando and our team of photographers will bring you all the action Friday nights and here on Saturday mornings. That kicks off on Friday this week. And we're counting down the Winter Olympics. This weekend, there are many figure skating hopefuls looking to snag a spot on Team USA. 2 fan favorites, Mitra Mitrofanov and Elisa Efimova, met on social media in 2023. In their first international competition, they placed 2nd, and now they're hoping to punch their ticket to the Olympics.
I think that's what makes our skating so interesting, is because we have such different styles and we're able to really, you know, match the music with it.
We made a full new short program that we absolutely love. As soon as we heard the music, we were like, yes.
And they clicked off the ice as well. In 2024, they tied the knot, but it's still unclear if the 2 will be eligible for Team USA. Efimova is originally from Finland, and she's been trying to get her citizenship expedited. The U.S. squad for the Winter Olympics will be announced tomorrow. Very exciting time. We got a lot of big events on KGW coming up.
We really do. We have, of course, the playoffs tomorrow, a wild card game, and then we have the Super Bowl. Of course, we carry the Olympics starting February 6th. But first, I want to get to that 7-day forecast where we could be seeing some light sprinkles tomorrow morning, but you know, don't sweat those raindrops because it's going to be more dry than wet, especially up and down the I-5 corridor. A lot of sunshine over the next 7 days and above average temperatures as well. We'll see you back here at 11.